Assalamualaikum. My name is Siva Taslim and I will explain about introduction of linear equation for no solution. First of all, how does a system of linear equation have no solution? A system of linear equation has no solution when the graphs are parallel. This is example when the graphs are parallel. Parallel lines have no point in common. There is no solution to this system. That means this equations are inconsistent. For first example, we are asked to find the number of solutions to this system of equation. First equation, we use y equal to negative 3x plus 9, and for the second equation, we use y equal to negative 3x minus 7. By graphing this equation, we can observe that they both have a slope of negative 3. This means that the line must be parallel. And since the y-intercepts are different, we know the lines are not on top of each other. There is no solution to this system of equations. As an example, consider two linear equations in x and y that represent a straight line each. Solving a system involving two equations can lead us to find a solution. The question is how. First, we find a set of coordinates x and y, or a point in common between the two straight lines on a point where the two lines cross each other. The two lines might also not cross or parallel. In this case, we cannot find a point in common between the two, and consequently the system of the two equations representing the two lines will not give us a solution. And last example, consider the two equations. We use first equation, we use y equal to 3x plus 5, and for second equation, we use y equal to 3x minus 3. If you try to solve the system of these two equations, for example, through substitution, you will obtain an odd result, no solution. Plotting the two lines that correspond to the two equations reveals that they are parallel. So that's all from me. And another slide will continue by my teammates.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and hi everyone. So for the first part of this subtopic, let's say I have these two linear equation, which is x plus y is equal to 1 and x plus y is equal to 2. So next, what we need to do is we need to change this form into a metric form. So this is the metric form that I already changed, and I put a so that this metric is metric A. Next, we need to find the determinant of this metric, and we will get 0. So for this solution, it's not unique. Why this solution is not unique? We continue. So for the next step is we need to reduce this metric A into a row echelon form like this. Next step is we need to minus R2, which is row 2 to row 1. So we will get this type of answer. So for the last part, we need to change back the metric form into a linear form, which is linear equation form. So for the first linear equation, we will get x plus y is equal to 1. But for the second linear equation, we will get 0 is equal to 1. So for the second linear equation, the statement is false because 0 is not equals to 1, right? So we can conclude that this system has no solution.
This question, we're going to solve it by using Gauss-Jordan elimination method. So as we can see, we have three linear equations with three different variables, which is x, y, and z. So for the first step that we need to do is we need to put these linear equations into augmented matrix form. So it will look like this. So as we can see, for the augmented matrix form, we eliminate the variables and we just include the numbers in it. So what are we going to do with this number is that first we need to make sure, or we need to turn these three numbers at the bottom part and the three numbers at the top part, and we need to turn it to become zeros. And also we need to make sure that these three numbers become 1. First of all, let's try to change these two numbers first to become zeros before we're doing the rest. And how are we going to do that? Is by doing this. In order to change the number 4 to become 0, we use all the number in the first row, but we multiply it by 4, and after that we use the second row subtracting with the first row. What it means by the arrows was basically we put the new number into the second row. And now for the third row, we need to change the number 2 to become zeros. So in order to do that, we multiply the first row with 2, and then we just subtracting the third row with the first row. The new second row and the third row will be look like this. And now what are we going to do is we need to focus on the number -13 on the third row, because we need to change it to become 0. In order to do that, we can use the second row, so it will look like this: third row minus second row. So the result will be looking like this. So we finally get the 3 zeros at the bottom part. At this point, we realize that there is another zeros in the third row. So what does it mean by 3 zeros in one row? Well, it will look like this. It is an equation. As we can see, 0x plus 0y plus 0z equal to -3, which is completely nonsense, because any number that multiply by 0, it will equal to 0. So how does it equal to -3? So at this point, we can conclude that this system of linear equations has no solutions.
Assalamualaikum and hello to everyone and madam. My name is Muhammad Iskandar Zulkarnain bin Kharizam, and I will continue with sample question of no solution, and I will solve it using rank method. So the question given 3 sample of system equation. So 1, 2 and 3. So the first step how you want to tackle this question is by make the system equation in matrix form. Ax equal to b. So like I did, A matrix, X matrix and B matrix. So next, for the second step, we have you have to write the augmented matrix. This is augmented matrix. So how you want to write the augmented matrix is by writing down A matrix here, and beside write B matrix. Okay, after you have done form the augmented matrix like this, and the next step is what you want to do is to make this form into echelon form. So how you want to do it? By make this element, both element become 0. So the easiest way to make the calculation is I interchange the row 2 into row 1 is to make the element 2 and 3 become 0 more easier, where because 1 in here. So next is to make both element 2 and 3 become 0. So how you want to do it? By R2 minus R2 minus 2R1. And for element 3 to become 0 is by R3 minus 3R1. So this is my reference how I do. Okay, so but this form is still does not form echelon form. So what you have still to do is to make this number for element become 0 also. So how you want to do it? By row 3 minus row 2, because 0 minus 0 is 0, 4 minus 4 is 0, and negative 1 minus negative 1 is also 0, and 1 minus 3 is negative 2. Okay, now it has shown that this is the echelon form that we want to find. So next is to find the row of A. How you want to find the row of A is by close this fourth column and calculate the non-zero row of this in here. 1 and 2. Only 2. So 2. So the next is to find the row of augmented matrix. So we know the augmented matrix is all of this, includes all of this. So how we want to find it? By calculate also the non-zero row 1, 2 and 3. So 3. So it show that the row A and row augmented matrix is not the same. So the system is inconsistent and has no solution. That's all for me. Thank you.